Hello, my peeps. My name is Sarah, and I'm back again. And feeling a little bit better. It's about 4 hours later, so that's definitely cool. And Karen got me to thinking of what my second little video can be about. Now, first of all, I'm feeling better, so you can tell that I matched the pink with the pink in my bathrobe. Oh my God. And the green mug. Okay. And I'm having coffee, so you can tell that I feel better, but that was a rough one. The biggest thing on my list to do today would probably be to get out and go to Trader Joe's and just get a couple more things, because I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and I need to bring the lard in. And then I have off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Woohoo! Anyway, so Karen got me to thinking, that she thinks that if Sarah can be consistent, I can too. And early on, I started to do her a rather long comment back, and then I realized, I come from an alcoholic family, and I am a recovering alcoholic as well. And one of the things that was not ever to be counted on in my home growing up was consistency. And so the only thing that could be guaranteed was chaos, drama, and, scary stuff. I was an only child, and there was nobody looking out for little Sally. That was my nickname. So as an adult, I've held on to consistency closely, and self-care. I had to learn how to do those things because it wasn't, one, taught to me, or two, shown to me. So consistency for me is in my head as well as in my fridge. And even when I was a huge foodie eating all the wrong things, there was that panic of making sure that there was enough junk food. If I ran out of something that I used to eat, by the pint in the freezer, there had to be 2 or 3 as a backup. We couldn't just trust that I would be okay with, that one. I'm never hence my 2 fridges that are always packed, in case you didn't notice that. So as a person that came to want to lose the weight, and came to want to keep it off, I have to put consistency into my life, obviously, on a daily basis. Because if I start losing that, then I start slowly losing my mind. And so self-care is very, very, very important. Hence, me always strongly suggesting to you guys to track before you put it in your mouth. It is there. So when you wake up in the morning, before you put one bite of something in your mouth, you can refer to your tracker and then say, oh yeah, that's what I'm having. I'm going to have for me today, Greek full-fat yogurt with 2 cups of strawberries and blueberries, 1/4 cup of the gluten-free granola, and 1 tablespoon of the almonds. And yes, it's all prepped for after I finish doing this video. And so I will enjoy it. And then I went down into the freezer. You can tell I felt better. I went down into the big freezer and pulled out a turkey chili. And that'll be for me. Greg is not a big fan of it. He'll have something else. And pork chops. And today we're cooking on the grill the ribeye, which will be tonight's meal. And then grass-fed sirloin tips, that will be another day. And wild-caught, not frozen swordfish is on sale, so he'll pick up a piece of that for tomorrow night. So as you can see, I've got a few meals already in the can. And that's what works for me, laying it out. I've got to have, Thursday I'm free as a bee to roam and do all of my food capturing again. But yeah, so I always like to have the meals put at the bones of my tracker. This is for you especially, Sharon, to show you I'm not going away from Weight Watchers. I'm just using the tracker as much as ever. And so I put the bones in. Now Saturday today, it's perfect. It's a rainy Saturday on Cape Cod, and we haven't had this. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in traffic. I wouldn't want to be a vacationer paying, $2,000 a week for my rental. But as a year-round person, a cloudy day is like welcome to slow me down and to have me just, sit on my little love seat here behind me in the office and put my food in my tracker. Now that I've taken things out of the freezer, I have a better idea of what I'm having. And so I'm very excited about that. So the consistency and the self-care, if you're a woman, and if you're a man watching this, you probably understand this too, because you're here. If you ain't feeling good, there's really nobody that's going to be like stepping in and taking care of you and, washing your berries for you and doing those sort of things. It's like Greg wouldn't have a clue about my food, and it's a labor of love. It's my favorite passion is to cook for me and him, and oftentimes there are two different meals. And that's because I'm going with my gut on things. And as some of you may have known, he's lost 15 pounds since I've been on Weight Watchers. Do you love that? But, he's also getting used to smaller portions of things. And I mean, I've always cooked a lot of veggies, but as we know on this program, veggies and fruits are 0 points. So we can have all we want. So, I plan my food. I'm obsessed about food still. Getting the right food, making sure I've got it in. Today, when Greg comes home with the produce, maybe I'll do a grocery haul. But maybe, what I'll do is I'll make sure that the grapes and the cherries are washed and put in little baggies for my week. So it's a grab and go sort of thing. And each morning I make my red leaf lettuce salad with my cilantro avocado. So I make the salad the night before, and then I add the kiwi and the cilantro dressing, on my way out the door. And I make my chopped little peppers thing with my 1 tablespoon of 1 point Bolthouse classic vinaigrette, and add that before I leave. So anyway, that's what I'll be up to today. If I don't venture out to Trader Joe's, if I'm just here, I can certainly make do. And so it's this consistency and self-care that I have, and I have to make that time. I have to. Because if I woke up in the morning and just was carefree and left the house with a mug of coffee, I used to live next door to this woman, and I think she was a drinker, in an apartment building. And she would wake up late and somehow get a mug of coffee and just drive to work with no plans whatsoever. And I look at these people and I know that I am not that way. I could never be that way. I got to know where my next meal is coming from, and hopefully where it's coming from is already packed. Be it cottage cheese or pepper strips or a bag of grapes, and I go to a place where there's tons of food if I was to have forgotten mine. But the more organic, gluten-free, whole food that I get, the less there is for me to have there, And plus I drink almond milk, so they don't have almond milk there, and I do, I've been ordering them the cottage cheese, and some of them said they loved it, and it's just, so it's very, very interesting. But if I don't practice that, at the shelter that I work, we also treat the trauma of these women and the children too, kind of give them a consistent start off to their life in the daycare that we operate there. And there's this whole, like, there's all these different components to the trauma. We had this, woman that wrote this book, come and do a 2-day training and all this. And the first thing on it was consistency. And I'm all about that. I, it's almost been like one of those like a secret of mine is that, well, how do you do what you do? Well, it's consistency that counts. And, I guess I live in a world where a lot of people aren't consistent. Some of you may be, and I've certainly seen it in the grocery hauls and the food prep that I can see on some of the Weight Watcher blogs. Even if they're having things that I don't eat anymore, like on a Sunday, they've put together their, their 5 of, 5 of, 5 of for their work week. And the next thing in this arc that we use is routines and rituals. Well, I'm in Maslow's lowest tier, the self-care, the safety thing, forget the self-actualized at the top of the pyramid. I'm back down there in the consistency and the routines and rituals. And I'm hoping that as you choose to listen to my tapes, that you see it's a skill set. It's a luxury, it's a gift, and it's a necessity in your life to want to take care of yourself. There are always going to be things, people, places, and things that want to pull us from taking care of ourselves. And on a side note, I had a husband that used to think I was selfish because I walked and I took care of myself with my foods. And it's just kind of funny how people perceive that. But if I'm not practicing self-care, consistency, and even the rituals and the routines, I'm not fun to be around. I start getting anxious. It's almost like they're my invisible anchors. And I know that there's a safety in knowing my fridge is full, my tracker is planned, not just for the morning, but for the whole day, the next day, and so forth. And today's a perfect day for me to tweak my tracker. Do you ever do that? Get rid of the things that you don't eat anymore. And there's tons of them on mine. I'm looking as I was putting in some things this morning. There's a lot of things that I don't eat anymore that are on my tracker that could make room for other things that I do eat. And even though fruits and veggies are free, I still like to track them. I like to keep a running, what I'm having on there. And not just 4 ounces of a pork chop, and then you fill in the blanks. So it's a perfect day for me to go through that and just, if I'm having something on a regular basis, make a meal of it, right? You can do that. I do it online. It's a whole lot easier than I do it on my laptop. My tablet, it's not that user-friendly for that sort of stuff. It's great for the favorites. It's great for putting in my food for the week. But it's a lot easier than the laptop one. But the laptop is where I can create the meals. So then when I'm on my favorites, I can just put in Bob's gluten-free cereal breakfast. And in it, it's got, my Califia creamer. It's got my Zyla. It's got my 2 cups of berries. It's got my half a tablespoon of organic brown sugar. It's got my cup of almond or cashew milk. So it's all there, so I can just do a quick click, click, and it's in. That takes care of the morning. And I really don't do it with the lunch and dinners, although I used to. I used to do, for the steak, the Saturday night thing that we're having tonight, it was all on there. But now I tend to kind of put it in because as I was veering into the full fat, that wasn't on the meal that I had created. So I got rid of that and blah, blah, blah. But that's what I do for my consistency. And it really, really matters. And if you want to know what dysregulation is, be sick with cats, because they're all screwed up. They were hovering around me and you're not going for a walk, you're not getting dressed, you're not rushing out the door. And it's kind of endearing too, but they're used to my consistency, just like kids would be used to your consistency. And it's not something that I had as a child. So to be able to have learned it in an adult life, maybe some of you grew up where it was consistent and, you don't even know what I'm talking about today. But for those of us that grew up in a home with substance abuse, it's crazy making. And so that's what I do to take care of myself, the consistency, the routines and rituals, and the self-care. And that's how I'm able to do these videos. If there was no consistency, I'd be a once every few weeks type of person. But I've kind of built this into my day, even when my silly little computer is not behaving, it becomes my priority. And my consistency and my self-care and my routines and my rituals are my priority. Nobody else has to know about it, worry about it, think about it, take care of me about it. It's very, very self-gratifying. And, there was this, I've been to so many seminars in my professional career, and one of them, they gave this little, it's an 8-word deal, and it's 2 letters for each, okay? Ready? If it is to be, it is up to me. And I don't know about you with your Weight Watcher program. Can you imagine asking your significant other or your child to put in your food for you? So this is where we learn that, we're not on the raft alone with a lot of things in life, but with doing our program, whether it's Weight Watcher, whether it's, counting calories in another app, no matter what it is, we are learning how to take care of ourselves on that raft. If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy is how I deal with it. And fortunately, I have a man, not only is he respectful of my consistency, my routines and rituals, but our birthday is the same day. We are both Virgos. And our birthday is coming up in another few days. And so, he has his, I can tell, I can hear, in the morning when he's getting ready. He is predictable. And predictable for me is very, very comforting. So for me to live with somebody that's predictable is just like for me to wake up and know that I will look into my tracker and I will see that it's already in there. There might be one little tweak or something, as I go through the week, but I have spent the time. I have taken that half hour to put my food in. It is so important. It is so important. And then following it. No surprises in my day. The other day I had 1 ounce of that Panucci fudge that I got on Martha's Vineyard. And usually I just have dessert on Saturday night. But it was talking to me. And I only had like 19 points for the day. So I could fit in that ounce. I think it was four points. And I was happy. And it fit. And yes, it was spontaneous, but all of a sudden, usually the things don't talk to me. But this particular night, it talked to me. And I wanted a piece of that fresh, buttery Panucci. And I had the points. So I could spend. And like a drunken sailor. And so anyway, this has been my little motivational tape. Actually, oh my goodness, over 19 minutes. So this is the... to make up for the being sick this morning. I'm definitely a lot better. Not operating on 8 cylinders yet, maybe 6. But yeah, so here you go. This is what you get when I've got a lazy Saturday. So have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your feedback on my How Do You Like Me Now? And I will see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.